Here are 5 tips that will help you get ahead of 99% of the population. Most people don't know about these, or if they know, they neglect them. So it's pretty easy to get ahead of 99% of the population. So step number 1 is to use a second brain and AI. So a second brain is when you do daily tasks, you probably also have a lot of things in your life. And for instance, I'm a startup entrepreneur and a hybrid athlete. So I have numerous things going on. And in the moment, I might come up with a brilliant idea. And if I don't have somewhere to compartmentalize these, they will be lost forever. So you can use, for instance, Apple Notes, Notion, or some other note-taking app. And it's really important that you structure it in a way that you have, for instance, your career, your startup, training, personal, finance, all this stuff in different areas so you can put notes in there and make sure it's very well structured. Also, AI can be a very great way of structuring these notes. So when you think about that, you don't know actually how to get started here, it doesn't really matter which app you're using for the notes. It's just important that you really deduct the unimportant stuff, and AI, ChatGPT, you can use it to come up with different structure for your folder so it's really clean and also cleaning out the notes. Step 2 is to use NSDR meditation. So Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist at Stanford, talks about the profound benefits for anyone who wants high performance through meditation. But NSDR meditation, which I also link below, is a way of doing meditation in a way that you take, for instance, during the lunch break, a 15-minute, almost like a nap, where it cleans out your mind so you then can get back to action. Step 3 is to make sure that you have a strong body. And you just don't want to use any type of strength training. You want to use a structured, good program. Like I like to do calisthenics. 2 times per week is enough. If you do compound exercises, meaning that you hit all major muscle groups, and you really want to target the upper back as well as the glutes, because they get so neglected here in front of the computer. And if you just go to the gym and do a lot of pushing with the bench, you're going to mess up your posture even further. So make sure you're doing push, pull, and the legs. The core will get in there as well. You will get those 6-pack abs through compound exercises. Make sure 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week. Go reps close to failure so you really get jacked and reap the rewards of hypertrophy. Step 4 is walking 8 to 12,000 steps per day. So a lot of productivity gurus, you perhaps could say, I'm also one of them, a productivity guru. So walk in the morning, at lunch you walk 3,000 to 4,000 steps, and then at night you also do that. And that's actually going to add up to 9,000 to 12,000 steps per day. The benefits of walking is that you burn extra amount of calories per day, but also Andrew Huberman, the neuroscientist at Stanford, talks about when you actually walk, it's going to activate a primitive way for your brain to actually scan the environment, which really means that it cleans out the amygdala, the fight and flight in the brain, which really calms down your nervous system. You can become more productive. And also, you might come up with creative ideas, and that's when you bring out the second brain. And make sure you have a well-structured compartment for your different nodes. So when you come up for an idea, for instance, for sports performance, or your startup, or investing, you just go into that compartment, the lokero, which we say in Finnish, which is just that box where you have those notes, and then you come up with the note and it's stored forever. Step number 5 is nutrition. We know nutrition is hugely important for getting those 6-pack abs and also to build muscle. So when you want to build muscle, go into calorie surplus, and when you want to burn fat, you go into calorie deficit. But not just that, you also want to make sure you're hydrated with 2 things, electrolytes as well as creatine. So I competed recently in the national calisthenics, and I made sure to really nourish myself with enough carbohydrates before the competition. But then I made sure to stay hydrated during the intense competition with water that was filled with electrolytes as well as creatine, because we know that these can really nourish your body in a way that you perform better. For instance, creatine can even boost your performance up to 15%. And surprising benefits, it's that it's actually also a cognitive booster for your brain. Most people don't know that. So that's how you get ahead of 99% of the people. I will be using these tips myself, as this fall I will be competing in the Nordic Championships in calisthenics, as well as continuing building our cyberpunk VR game, Startup Deceptive Reality. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and you will get more tips on high performance in upcoming videos. This is Axel signing out. See you in the next one.